Well, spring is finally here. At least in the northern hemisphere. So I thought I'd do another resin inlay, and this time I thought tulips would be a good idea, just to celebrate the time of year. So I'm using that same 1/8 diameter by 1/2 inch long straight bit in my router to route this design out. So once I get the bulk removed, I'll go along the edges of each little inlay section and smooth them out. That's what I'm doing here. And then on the bigger sections, along with smoothing out the walls, I need to make sure that everything's removed from the bottom of the inlay. I'm just using a green with pearl and also a red with a little bit less pearl. And here's another look at my bandsaw circle cutting jig. Just measuring the radius of the piece and then matching up the dowel hole at a little bit longer length. It's not really necessary to use the bandsaw jig to cut a circle on a flat piece like this. I usually reserve it for logs and such. But I just got a new bandsaw blade. I had to use it. So my first task is to make this nice and round, to true it up. And I use my 5/8 bowl gouge for the vast majority of this project. Here's a pass at normal speed. I know everybody appreciates that. Slow and easy, nice and smooth, gliding along that bevel. Beautiful shavings. It's such a pleasure to turn wood with a sharp tool. Make something beautiful out of a chunk of wood. Words, at times, just seem insufficient. So once I get the outside shaped the way I want, I go to work on the bottom of the bowl, just to establish the foot and cut the mortise, so I can reverse mount this and work on the inside. I've marked the tip of this parting tool at 3/16 of an inch because I've only got about a 1/2 inch of resin to play with. I don't want to go too deep, but I want to go deep enough for the chuck jaws to be able to grab this bowl firmly. And here I'm spending a little bit of time smoothing out that mortise and shaping the bottom of the bowl, but during this process I decided to go a little bit different route with the bottom of the bowl, which you'll see at the end of the video. I sanded all the way up to 500 grits before I reverse mounted. Okay, once again it's time to take a look at what some very talented subscribers to this channel have made. I sure enjoy this. Daniel Rawlings made this gorgeous bowl. This thing's beautiful. You can find him on Instagram at Rawlings Art. That's Rawlings_art. Paul Raymond Steenbach from Germany made this beautiful bowl. It's made from laburnum. So nice. Ryan Bourgeois made these nice looking bowls. Put that fleur-de-lis in the bottom of the bowl using resin. Very nice. Ryan, I apologize if I mispronounced your name. I get asked in the comments sometimes why I thank my subscribers so much. Well, I got to tell you, it's because you motivate me. You show interest in what I'm doing. You support me by subscribing. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You are the fuel to my fire. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, well, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, though. It helps me. So every time you make a bowl, at some point you've got to remove the tailstock and just rely on the chuck itself to hold the bowl in place. So when that extra support is gone, that just means that you have to be extra deliberate with what you do with your tool. A couple of videos ago, I had a bowl fly off the lathe because I wasn't careful enough when I pivoted in with the cutting edge. I'm making very sure I'm not going to make that same mistake with this bowl. So it's just a matter of slow, deliberate, precise movements. And obviously this is at 4 speed, so it looks a little bit more hasty. And here I'm just going for an even wall thickness, matching the contours and the curves from the rim of the bowl all the way to the base. When I'm done with this bowl, I'd like it to have the basic shape of a tulip. Wide at the base, narrowing towards the top, with a little bit of flare. And now that I've exposed that color, I know that I've got about 5/16 of an inch thickness on the base of the bowl, at least in the middle where the mortise is. So again, even more deliberately, taking off very, very thin shavings to expose all the color, and then finalize the shape of the bowl on the inside and get it sanded and finished. And this is sanded all the way up to 500 grit. Now I'm adding shine juice, which is going to soak into the wood nicely and also give it a nice luster. And now you can see the yellow tips that I gave these tulips. My favorite colors for this flower. And I've reverse mounted the bowl again onto some jumbo jaws so that I could work on the base of the bowl. I got rid of the mortise, and now I'm sanding that area up to 500 grit again and applying the same finishes. And you may notice you can't see the yellow tips on the tulips on the outside of the bowl, just on the inside. Natural colors when lit from the bottom in a dark room. Thanks for watching. Semper Fi.